Do you want to know about something else you are absolutely right about?
I always want to know what I'm right about.
I got a little bit of video to tee this one up. EOS Energy, which if you're a long time listener or even a recent listener of this podcast or our last podcast, you'll know has been Krzysztof's doom for much time.
Yeah, I think the proper exact term is my albatross.
So there you go. Like EOS Energy, I ripped you one hard for years, and I even said to you, like, stop talking about this freaking company because it's an embarrassment. You did that at Seven Investing. Please don't turn our Wall Street Wildlife into like the EOS show. But fuck me, he pulled it off. Look, so and I'll put that extract I pulled was from our predictions episode for the whole of 2024. And I'm just going to remind us of our predictions and kind of what happened. So in January 2024, one of our many predictions questions, I love the predictions episode, we should do those regularly. EOS at the time was a $218 million market cap. And I predicted it would halve to like $100 million. And I laughed at you when you said it was going to 3x to $750 million. Well, you kicked my ass because at the end of the year last year, it was getting on for like $1 billion market cap. So you clearly won that bet. And I think I had to drink like a shot on the Christmas episode. But we give it another 9 months. What are we now? Like the back end of September. And now your prediction is like a 10x. So like this begs the question that the most critical question for all of our wallets and my option that you forced me to buy, like where is EOS going next, wise monkey?
All right, Badge. I have a long winding answer for this. Actually, I'll answer that. But first, can I give some context for those
Oh,
who might not be familiar with my story here? This is, without a doubt, the single one company that I became obsessed with to the point of kind of bizarre, uh, I don't know how to say it, delusion or no, obsession might be the word. And what allowed that to be possible is, I think, one of the greatest inventions of modern times, which is the what I would call the live community that can happen through X, the platform X, because all of a sudden a few investors got together and started seeing what was possible, and then the whole spaces thing would happen, and then I would join the spaces and end up talking to people for hours for I mean my God, like I mean hours and hours every single day live thinking through, like, is this what we think it is, blah 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 blah. I got to know people, I would talk to them on the phone. um I mean, bizarre, almost like, kind of out of this world uh communication open up. Back to the EOS thing. Anyway, I became absolutely obsessed with this thing, and I I just ended up knowing a stupid amount, and then I lost a lot of money because I got too excited because things take longer than you think, and then I lost a whole plantation worth on call options that, even though I picked long dated ones, that still wasn't early enough. So let that be a lesson to you kids. But to get back to your question, the reason I was so excited about this is because this first 1,000% from when I bought at some shares at 70 cents to it's now $10.15, that first 1,000% is actually the hard part, because they had to survive all kinds of financial valleys of death. It's much easier to go from 10 to 20 than it is from 70 cents to 10. So, given everything that's happening in the context of AI demand and energy demand, uh, if we're talking 3 years from now, I would just absolutely not. I would be surprised if it's not a 10x from here.
great. Yeah, a 10x from here, you're saying?
Uh, Wait, 10x from, sorry, 10x from 10 would be 100, right? So that might take 5 years, but
Okay,
I would not be surprised.
very good.
So,
All right.
and that's important because some people, of course, might have been thinking, "Yeah, I'm too late. I missed the first 1,000%." No, you're not too late. There might be obvious like retraces and but 3 to 5 years from now, you're still way early if it does what I think it will.
Awesome. Yeah, I heard a really good quote on our friends, the Dividend Talk podcast, in their most recent episode. And if you caught like maybe 5 or 6 episodes, we were interviewed by Edgy and Derek on their podcast, and then Edgy came onto our podcast. So I listen to them regularly now, and I'm in their Discord. They're smart guys, and like Edgy said something in his recent podcast. I'm very strict on position sizing. It's my safeguard against my own stupidity. And I've always thought that way myself, because I chat about how I get into a position and, get to like 1%, 2%. My full position is like 6%. And then like the really big allocations in my portfolio, like they got there by themselves by growing. And I've got my maximum, like 20%, no matter what, hell or high water. I don't want to have more than 20% essentially of like my net worth, because like my portfolio dominates everything I own on this planet, apart from my cat, who's invaluable. So like position sizing is the safeguard against my own stupidity. I definitely lean into that idea. Like we said on last week's episode 99, right? An asteroid could literally like hit EOS HQ and wipe out the leadership team. Like random ass stuff can happen. So that's why you probably don't want like a life impacting massive exposure, but you're running that massive exposure with your no longer albatross EOS, and you're making it work. But like if you're listening to this and if you're like a massive EOS fan, just approach stuff like this with caution, because we talk about these stocks and and Krzysztof really does his due diligence. Like you've said many times, this is like the company you have spent more time on than almost any other endeavor in your life, right?